It's been a while since we've chatted.
Yeah. How many years?
3 at
years.
least. Yeah, I think. Well, it was just before the last record came out.
Yeah, last record came out 2009. So yeah,
at least 2
years.
Anyway, yeah.
2 years. Yeah, man, we haven't been up there in a while either.
No, I think it was in between the first and second record, actually.
Yeah, it might have been. Remember one tour we were scheduled to play there, and I don't know, I can't remember what happened, but the show got canceled. We showed up, there was no show, and I don't know.
That's fantastic. That sounds like typical Thunder Bay, actually.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
On the plus side, most of those promoters have finally quit.
Okay,
So
that's good to know.
we don't have to deal with those people anymore. I would imagine being in a band, you get to deal with some pretty rotten promoters.
Yeah, especially when, Threat Signal does a smaller tour, or like we go out and headline, because we're not like we play like smaller venues, and we take chances with promoters sometimes.
Right.
So sometimes you get these fucking dickheads. Sometimes you can get some really cool guys and they're enthusiastic, but some guys, they just don't want to do anything for you. You have to fucking beg them for a case of water.
Right.
Don't even think about food or beer, none of that, You're just happy with water.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, it's especially over here in North America. I notice you go over to Europe and you get treated completely different.
Yeah, no doubt.
You show up at 1 o'clock for your load, and they've already got like sandwiches and lunch meats and everything all laid out for you for lunch. Like, wow, lunch? We actually get lunch? No way. That's awesome.
That's crazy. It's weird that there's such a difference. You would think that over here, where we claim to be such music lovers and such metal lovers, that people would be a little bit more respectful of the bands that they're bringing into town.
Yeah, you'd think, some people are, but a lot aren't, and it's kind of a shame, man. If I had a band coming in, I'd treat them like gold, unless they're asking for, completely crazy things,
Yeah.
But, all we ask is for just reasonable, necessities.
Yeah. Well, funny story about the band Exhumed when they came through town.
Yeah.
The venue that they played in, for whatever reason, the promoter put them at this huge venue. And I mean, Exhumed on a good night in a major town draw 300 people. In Thunder Bay, they had 15. But they're in a huge venue, and so the band plays literally as they're walking off the stage. The promoter's running up, shoving money in Matt's hand, the singer's hand, and running out the door. To go. And
this is what you get.
Yeah. So I talked to him afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, well, our rider was 2 pizzas and a case of beer. We got a 6-pack of beer and 1 pizza." and even funnier, the front of the place was a pizza parlor.
Oh, no way.
So it's not like it would have cost him any extra to get that 1 extra pizza. So
exactly. Well, that shit happens to us all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when we're headlining. Food? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you've got to try and, if you haven't been to the place before, you've got to try and figure out where it is that there's something that's decent to eat. And
yeah. Well, we had one time where, I think it was in New York, this kid wanted to book us. We had an off date. So I was talking to him, and he wanted to book us in, and the show was only a week away. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this is our guarantee, and are you sure you can pull this off? There's not much time. And the kid was just really excited, really, he's like, yeah, no problem, I do this all the time. And then we played the show. There was probably like, 15, 20 people there. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And then we tried to get our guarantee out of him at the end of the night. He's like, well, I don't have it. I'm like, well, I sent my tour manager to talk to him because I don't like dealing with that. But our tour manager had to walk him down to the bank machine while he was crying.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't want to put anyone in that situation, but it's like, we drove there. We need to pay our bills. It's a guarantee. I'm very sorry, but...
Yeah, exactly.
You should have been a little more prepared, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why you guys are looking to do some support slots. for the first little while now that the new record's out?
Yeah, definitely. We're not going to jump out of the gate and be a headlining band and, you know, kind of put a price on ourselves. And this is who we are. We're holding out. You know, we feel this record, you know, it's got some balls. It's a great record, and we're very proud of it. And, you know, we think we deserve to get on some good opening slots, maybe open for some bigger bands, and spread the word before we go headline again.
Right.
You know, because we've been headlining for years and years, and, you know, I just, you know, I feel like we should grow a little faster. You know, we've played to the same people for a long time, and it's time to grow. You know.
Fair enough. And looks like it was just announced that you're going to be on that Children of Bodom 15th anniversary tour.
Yep. It's pretty awesome, man. You know, because we've been fans of Children of Bodom for a while, and, you know, landing that tour is probably one of the best things that could have happened for this album cycle, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, we're playing some big venues, and it's a nice long tour. It's about 5 weeks in North America.
Nice. We
hit Toronto and we're playing Sound Academy. I've never played there. You know, the venue's huge.
Right.
You know, all the venues on the tour are huge. You know, we're 1,000 capacity or more. You know, it's going to be a lot of people. So we got a lot to prove, you know. Opening band, you know, we got to show them how it's done.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, with 3 albums under your belt now, but obviously, you know, the self-titled one just coming out, will your opening set be pretty new album heavy then?
That's what I'm leaning towards. You know, we're talking about the set right now. We're kind of a little battling back and forth on what we want to play, because we only have like half an hour set, and we're used to playing an hour set. You know, so cramming everything we want to do into this 30-minute set is proving to be a little harder than I thought. You know? But personally, I want to focus on more new material. Yeah, definitely, because I'm really proud of this record, and I think it's going to grab us a lot of new fans, and a lot of people are going to really like it. So I want to focus on that. Still play, you know, a couple old songs, you know, something off the first record.
Right.
Probably just play like Through My Eyes off the second release.
Gotcha.
Definitely play that. But yeah, new shit, man.
Absolutely. Well, it seems to me, and I don't know if this was a conscious effort on your part with the new album, but it seems like you've taken a lot of Under Reprisal, the heaviness of Under Reprisal, and a lot of the melody that was on Vigilance, and kind of upped them both and slammed them together on this new record to make kind of a best of amalgamation of the two.
Yeah, it's pretty close, man. Like we kind of missed what we did on Under Reprisal, you know, that the heavy parts of Under Reprisal, you know, because it had a lot of these groovy riffs and these really heavy riffs that we were kind of, you know, Vigilance was a little more kind of rockin' kind of metal, you know, it's still heavy, but it was a little different than Under Reprisal. So that's exactly kind of what we did, you know. We went back and took those ideas and just kind of expanded on them, you know, those heavy riffs, and we basically sat down together and said, let's try to make the heaviest album we possibly can, you know, a really dark, evil sounding record. You know, we didn't want to make another Vigilance or another Under Reprisal, but, you know, kind of take a little bit of those elements and create something better.
Right.
You know, because we're always trying to better ourselves and try new things, and, you know, we can't re-record Under Reprisal 3 times or whatever.
Because you're not AC/DC.
Exactly. You know, even if the album does well, it's like, you know, I'm a musician, you know, I want to experiment and try new things, you know, work with different producers.
Absolutely.
Gain more knowledge and change and grow, you know.
And you did work with a different producer this time around. You worked with, instead of doing all the production yourself, you worked with Zeus, right?
Yep. Went down to Massachusetts, and it was a great experience, man. Zeus, when we walked in the door, we sat down and had a conversation, and, you know, he was just as excited as we were, you know, because he knew of Threat Signal, and he was, you know, kind of a fan, and he told us it's like he really wanted to do this record. He needed to do this record because it's a little bit different style metal than he's done in the past.
Right.
And, you know, he understood what we were trying to do and what we were trying to record. and he got us amazing tones, drums, guitars, everything. You know, he just basically pushed the best out of us. You know, it's nice to have that producer to, you know, kick you in the nuts and, you know, get everything out of you, you know, because I would find myself sometimes, I'm singing, or like I'm screaming. He's like, dude, where did the anger go? Where did it go, man? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, listen to this. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. Do it again, you know? And just keep picking at me. I'm like, all right, I'll show you fucking angry. You know? Just get you going. That's what you need, man.
Absolutely. Was it tough to kind of let go of that that control for you? Because I know you did the production on the last record, and I know that you're really involved with Threat Signal from beginning to end. Was it tough to have the outside ball kicker this time around?
Well, I'm always open to have that. You know, that's what I wanted. You know, because like I said, I like trying new things and doing, you know, going to different producers. Like I self-produced our second record, Vigilance, and it was a great process, very laid back. You know, we took our time and very comfortable recording. This time I kind of wanted to get an outside ear, an outside opinion, and for me to kind of step back and let someone else, you know, offer their view and their opinion. You know, I was always there. I was there the whole time. I think I was the only guy from the band that stayed from the start to the finish. You know, the other guys would come in, do their parts, hang out, and go. You know, they'd come in for a week or two, but I was there for the full 5 weeks, and I learned a ton from Zeus. And that's another reason I wanted to do that as well. It's like a learning experience, right? Mm-hmm. And I learned a ton, you know, about my own productions and just being a singer and just everything. You're growing and you're learning, man. So it's nice to have someone in the industry who's been doing it for so long and been so successful at it to like give you some tricks and help you out a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even Zeus, like, he even told me, like, he's still learning. He'll learn new key commands or something new about Pro Tools or his gear or something. You know, he's always learning. You know.
Yeah, and it's when you're not learning anything that stuff becomes stagnant and nobody wants to hear from you ever again.
Exactly. You can't stay the same. You got to keep growing.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And it's a pretty unique thing, I think, for a singer to say, yeah, I was the only one who was there for the recording process all the way through. Yeah. I think in a lot of bands, it's, I came in right at the end, put in my vocals, and left.
Yeah, a lot of singers are like that, man. You know, some bands, they even have like another guy write all the lyrics. You know, another member. Yeah. And then there's like the singer come in, just sing them, do his part, and leave. Yeah, but I'm very into the technical side of it, and you know, into the writing and arranging and just everything. You know, this is like my fucking baby. You know, this is my band. Yeah. So I have to see every process through, and you know, I'm involved with all the business and everything. You know, I just kind of take control of it all. You know. Absolutely.
And it's also pretty interesting to see now too. You know, kind of the first wave, I guess, of bands who hit with their popularity on the internet initially, and then you know, like you got signed through some, you know, their internet postings, basically, you know, posting music up on the internet. A lot of them have disappeared now, but Threat Signal just seems to be you know, growing and getting bigger with every release.
Yeah, it seems we're bigger on the internet than anywhere, you know. Yeah. That's where we started, and that's where we remain, you know. Like some fans, they're shocked sometimes because they have this images of us being such a big band, and then they'll come out to a show and they're like, well, where is everybody? Like, well, they're sitting at home on their fucking computer. Yeah. You know? But yeah, honestly, it was a very fast and just crazy start for us, you know, because we weren't even a full band, man, you know, just throwing our stuff up online and getting the reaction from fans and labels and everything. It's crazy. And we had to run out and find a drummer and a bass player. And I jumped into it, rushed into it. Yeah. You know, that's why I go through member changes, man. It's like, You gotta find your right guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and too, as you were saying, when you're in a band that's signed to a label, and something that's as big as Nuclear Blast, for example, you guys are perceived as being this huge band, and I think a lot of people, even though you'd think people would know at this point that signed to a label does not mean that you're a rock star and you're touring in buses and drinking caviar, or eating caviar and drinking champagne every night. It's important for people to get out there and see you guys live, because and actually buy physical records and buy merch and pay for a ticket or two to see a show.
A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think I've got it made, I'm rich, got sweet house and all this shit. It's metal, man. Give me a break. I don't do this for money at all.
Yeah.
I do it because I love it. I'll be broke for the rest of my life playing metal. I don't care. It's awesome. But yeah, I've had kids come up with like burned CDs asking me to sign them. I'm like, what the hell is this, man? Like, if you buy a CD, I'll sign it.
Yeah. Wow, that's ballsy.
It is ballsy. Like, what do you? They just don't know anymore, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, they don't even know what a CD is. Some kids don't even have CDs.
Yeah, it's sad. I read a quote from what's his name, Mr. Brett from Epitaph, Brett Gurwitz, who is saying that he knows kids. His son has friends who have entire music libraries. Every band they like, they've got every single album by them, but don't own a single physical album.
It's true.
It's insane.
It's the way it's going. I have a record collection. I got tapes, a couple albums. I've lived through that. But yeah, my library is changing over to a lot of digital as well. I'll still go buy CDs, but I'm finding myself buying stuff off of iTunes as well. At least you pay for it. Like, I don't mind people downloading our record to check it out. If they don't like it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if they do like it, like, please buy it.
Absolutely.
It makes all the difference in the world, man. Us trying to get on these tours, us trying to do anything. This whole industry is about numbers. Unfortunately, it is numbers. So if we don't have the numbers, we're just going to be sitting at home.
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunate, but true.
Yeah, it's very true.
And now, talking about numbers and labels and stuff, just as a kind of a self-interest, how did you end up doing Nuclear Blast everywhere else except in Canada?
Well, our original offer was to sign with Nuclear Blast for the world, but we were only really familiar with Nuclear Blast Europe.
Okay.
And that's who contacted us, because that's where their major office is, and that's where they started. And that's it. But then we learned, okay, Nuclear Blast has, an office in North America, in the U.S. Like, being from Canada, I didn't really see many Nuclear Blast CDs around.
Right.
The distro was just, not that great.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now. It might be better. But at the time, it
doesn't really matter, because there aren't any record stores left.
Exactly. They're all closing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we decided to sign with just Europe right off the bat.
Right.
And then we decided to look for another label for US and Canada. But we ended up signing with Blast because, the deal was great and everything looked good for the US, and we ended up signing with them there. But then we signed with Sony for Canada for our first record.
Right.
And, us being a really small band, that didn't work out. So we moved over to Sonic Unyon.
Right.
They've been fucking great. They're doing a great job. So our last two records were with Sonic Unyon.
Awesome. I actually was unaware that Vigilance came out on Sonic Unyon.
Yeah, they did really good, man. Like, I think we got more promo from them than we did Sony. It was like a branch of Sony called Red Ink.
Right.
Our album came out the same day as Lamb of God, so it was like a cross promotion with Lamb of God Threat Signal.
Right.
Which was really cool to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome. But we sold a lot more records with Sonic.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, man.
Definitely
it
a
seems
plus.
to be going good, and this album's still selling. I was just at the label today, and like, oh yeah, we're getting a lot of orders in, so still selling. That's good.
That is good. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys are the band is kind of spread out as well. Was it tough writing, or is the even though the internet has kind of killed record sales, it's helping you guys write records?
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship with the internet. If it wasn't for the internet, Threat Signal would not be a band. So, I can't really knock it too much. But honestly, our writing style has stayed exactly the same. When the band was all local and everyone was local, we still wouldn't get in a jam room and write together. The most we would do is maybe sit together around a computer and write our stuff on computer. But it's all computer-based. We always write with the program Guitar Pro. And, local or not, we're still just sending Guitar Pro files back and forth and writing through the internet and through the program. Like, sometimes we'll write songs and not even have a guitar in our hand.
Wow.
It's just ridiculous, the technology, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm not very good with the program. I'll sit down, play guitar, write some riffs, tab them out, because it's like a tab program, right?
Right.
It's all tabbed out, and you can write your drums in there too, so it's all guitars, drums, bass, it's all written out for you. It's great to save ideas as well, So that's just sent back and forth, man. And yeah, everybody's from all around North America, and Threat Signal it's become a YouTube tryout band. Because we've had a lot of member changes in the past. It's a crazy lifestyle, man. Not everyone can handle it. Finances are very hard, so it's hard to survive. So we've changed members a lot, and every current member other than myself has submitted a YouTube tryout video.
That's awesome. You better be careful what you say, or they're going to be forcing you to send in a YouTube tryout video one day.
They might, man. I'll just go in my bedroom and film it. That'd be funny, dude. I've been asking those guys. I'm like, "Where's your YouTube tryout video? You took it down. I want to see it." I'm like, no. Like, they're just all embarrassed by them.
They should all go into a DVD for the next record, perhaps.
Definitely should, man. It'd be hilarious. I think Pat's was probably the best. It was funny. Our bass player. He was just this little scrawny kid in his bedroom. He's standing up like he's playing a live show, and I think he actually did a jump. It was ridiculous, but he's so tight. So it's cool.
That's awesome, and it's fantastic that over the years, I mean, as you said, it's a tough lifestyle. There's been quite a few member changes, but over the years, you've always managed to keep the feeling of it being Threat Signal. The band hasn't become an alt country band by accident or anything like that.
Yeah, we haven't changed too much. We've changed a little bit throughout the albums, and grown and changed a little bit, but we still stay true to the Threat Signal sound. I think that's a lot to do with me being the front man of the band, and basically everything's kind of coming through me. The first two records, I wrote a bunch of riffs and did a lot of arranging, and I was involved a lot. This third record, I kind of stepped back because I'm really confident with my musicians, and they're just amazing writers. So I'm like, well, these guys can write circles around me. They're sick. So I just kind of stepped back. They wrote, and then everything would kind of come through me, and I would just offer arrangement ideas, and just make sure things were sounding how I kind of envisioned them to sound. Like my bass player would write a lot of songs. He's probably got like hundreds of songs, but only like 1 or 2 out of 100 sound like a real good Threat Signal song. So there's kind of a filter there.
When you guys when you take your stuff, when you record it, do you go in knowing okay, here's the 12 songs for the record or the 10 songs for the record, and that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, basically we have everything written on Guitar Pro. We pass around ideas, and it usually doesn't get any further than that program, unless it's like a good song,
Right.
If it's a good song, we'll take it to the next step, and then we'll demo it with real guitars, real drums. Sometimes we program the drums for demos. Sometimes we track them live, because our drummer Alex has his own studio at home. I have my own studio. You know, we can all record. So we record. Everything's recorded as a demo MP3 or something. You know, I'll sing on it, and then we'll know. You know.
Right.
We usually know pretty good from the guitar profiles, actually. You know, because we don't have many like B-sides lying around of recordings, because we usually know.
Right.
It gets to that, you know, recording stage. It's usually good to go. And then we have our, like for this album, we had 10 songs. These are our 10 songs, all demoed, all on a CD. This is what we're tracking. Go into the studio and just get straight down to business, man. You know, there's not really much messing around with Threat Signal because we've already done that process.
Right.
So Zeus would just kind of pick out the little things to make better. You know, if he hears anything that we overlooked, you know, he just basically made everything that much better. He's that, you know, sixth member of the band to put in his input.
Right.
So very, very well prepared, you know.
And being well prepared is also not only is it good musically, but it's also pretty good financially, I'm sure.
Very good financially.
You don't have to spend 8 weeks or $1,000 an hour in a studio.
Exactly. You can budget like right on the dime, man. You know, this is exactly how much time we need. You know, plus or minus a few days, whatever. But it's very close. It saves a lot of money. I really encourage bands to do that these days, especially in metal, because it's such a precise genre and, you know, very clean cut. You know, it's not like a jam rock band or jazz band or anything like that. You know, that's just different.
Yeah, for sure.
Metal, I think you gotta be on the ball like that, man.
Did you ever think you'd find yourself in this position where you're almost like a role model or elder statesman of metal?
Yeah, I'd never thought in a million years, man, and I still don't really think it right now. You know, it blows my mind sometimes. You know, I gotta go to this show. It's like a metal show this Saturday, and it's a whole bunch of, like, I guess they're high school metal bands playing the show, and I'm going to be one of the judges, and then I have to talk to each band about how they can improve, and, you know,
wow.
Just analyzing these bands, and like, okay, I'm that guy now. You know, I'm that guy. You know, I'm hoping these kids take my advice seriously, and I hope I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, I should. I've been doing it long enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
That's awesome. And now you've got the tour coming up, the Children of Bodom tour, and any other plans in the works at this point?
We're talking about some things. You know, we're submitting for various tours, North American tours, Europe. We're looking at the world as well. You know, Australia, Japan, South America. Like, we have all these ideas. You know, nothing is set in stone, but we have a lot of ideas. And we're going to start working with a new management company soon, so hopefully they can really help us out. And yeah, we're just working on it, man. But the Bodom tour is our very first tour for this album, so that's gonna set a good mark. For
sure, that's a darn good tour to be on for your first tour for this album. Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. Well, hopefully at some point you guys get up this way. And we'll make sure that the show isn't canceled.
I hope so too, man. That was funny because we were busting ass to get there, but the promoter didn't hear from us, but we showed up on time.
Gotcha.
You know, that's what it was, so it was our fault.
Sure it was. And, you know, it kills me too because every promoter in town knows that there's, you know, you can't call people from the road once you leave Winnipeg or once you leave Sault Ste. Marie. There's just no service.
That's where we were coming from. We were coming from Winnipeg. We did 2 shows out in Winnipeg, and we were driving back to Thunder Bay. And, like, I was the driver and tour manager. So I'm like, on top of driving and no service, how am I going to call you, man?
Yeah, totally. Wow.
Didn't get paid, no show. I just can't remember what we did. I think we just found, like, a conservation area and jumped in the lake. So we had fun anyway.
Well, not quite as much fun as the first time you guys were through here.
Oh, was that with the protest?
Yes.
Oh, that was sick. That was sick. I don't think... No, we've never topped it since then, man. That was a great show.
Awesome.
Yeah, should do that again. Got a bug protest.
There you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, John, thanks so much for taking some time to speak to me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Like, it's great, man.
Anytime at all.